I mean, you talked about, your guy likes to swing. When you came up, you get a hit in your first game, and then you go on a 17-game hitting streak, which, Plouffe, you said ties the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tied it.
Was that like that feeling? Did you feel like, oh, this is easy? Or were you kind of perplexed, or how did that, like, the 2 weeks feel?
That's insane.
Never was easy. This game's hard, man. I came up at a time where I was feeling really good. I went from AA, and then I got promoted to AAA, and something just clicked to where I've never been locked in like that. And I think I was in AAA for like 17, 18 games or something. They called me up. So it was like the hottest I've ever been. And when I was going through that, it was pretty surreal. Like, I was facing Bartolo Colon, DeGrom, Syndergaard, Matz, like really good pitchers. And, I was able to compete, get some hits off of them. And then I was never thinking about the hitting streak. Like, I never really thought about it until the game where I could have broke the record playing the Phillies. And I think it was Cameron Rupp, or I forgot I think it was him catching, and I come up to the plate, and it's my first at bat, and the guy, he's talking to me, and he's telling the umpire, "Oh, this guy's going for the record today." Like, I struck out, I think 3 times. I was swinging at balls that were bouncing in the dirt, like trying to get this hit, and the one game I started to think about it was the game that I lost it. So, but it was a fun time. It was cool to look back on.
That's incredible, dude. Like, thinking about coming up and 17 straight games, just getting that knock. Like, talk about like feeling settled right away. Like, a lot of guys, I know Stephen Vogt was like 0 for 30.
Yeah. It gave me a lot of confidence to think that, okay, I can stick up here, I can compete. I feel like I belong up here, and that definitely gave me a lot of confidence. So, and our coach at the time, Walt, I thank him a lot. He gave me the opportunity. He played me. It was awesome.
When I was just looking, I was going through your game log in the minor leagues to see if the streak continued. If it was like longer, if you combine them. But anyway, I saw the game before you got called up. You had 4 hits. Did you walk into the office and like, all right, guys, come on? Or did you have any sense?
No, it was actually, we were in Fresno, and after that game, the next day was a day game. So I'm preparing to get ready. And we actually had a Forbes come into town. He was in the front office. He was there, which I thought it was kind of weird that he was in Fresno for some reason. And he was there the night before where I got 4 hits. But the next day I come in, I'm getting ready to play the day game. I literally walk out to the field, get ready to stretch. And Glenn Allen Hill was our manager. Love him. He's the best. And he was on the phone, and I thought that was kind of weird. And he said, hey, and he actually stops me. He's like, hey, he's right here. And he hung up, and they called me in the office and called me and told me about it. But he was messing with me and was like, I think you got traded, like just messing around with me. And then brought me in the office. He was like, you're getting the call up. And it was very cool. Something you remember the rest of your life.
Awesome. Yeah. And then, I mean, your third game, you're in the 2-hole. So you like playing at the top of the order. I think like 10 games in, you're leading off. Oh, so you got there pretty quick.
Yeah, I still remember my first game in the big leagues against Gallardo. He was throwing like up shoot cutters, kind of like just high. And I remember, I think my first 2 at bats, I struck out both times on like 6 pitches or something. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm about to go back to AAA. And then the next at bat, my third at bat, I get the 2 strikes again. And I'm like, the hat trick, my first game, this isn't going to be good. And then thankfully I got a knock and was able to move past all that.
Yeah.
Do you see Gallardo, Trev?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
I faced him a lot. He was with the Brewers, and then Baltimore.
Yeah, I faced him with the Orioles.
Yeah, he's a guy. I mean, he does. He has that fastball that kind of rides up, and he's a spot guy, and he's got a good change. I mean, he's a good pitcher. Man, he had a really good career. He's in the book. If that's what you're asking, Jake, he's in the book a couple times. All right, dude.
That's all I was asking. So
it's a big book.